Okay, so to my pan, I am heating up some extra virgin olive oil. I have cut up very finely here the trilogy, right? They call it, I think, sometimes. So I have bell peppers, onion, celery, and 3 nice-sized cloves of garlic. All right. And what I'm actually making tonight for dinner is spaghetti. Okay, simple. A lot of times we all have these ingredients on hand. I was debating between tacos or Taco Tuesday or spaghetti. My 15-year-old said spaghetti, so spaghetti it is. So we're just going to bring that to not a brown, but you want it to be soft. Okay, so I add a little sea salt, a little black pepper. Oh, it smells good already. And something I would share is, if you can, again, we're trying to eat healthy, clean, cancer or no cancer, but buy organic where you can, okay? So do I buy everything organic? No. What I do buy organic consistently, though, and I did this even before my diagnosis, is organic dairy, specifically milk or ice cream, and organic meats. I also like to buy organic spices as well. I feel like they just taste a little better. Maybe with a little bit more fresher ingredients. Okay, but I don't buy everything organic. It's not even necessary to buy everything organic anyway, depending on what kind of fruit or vegetable it is. But meat and dairy, I do. We are going to use an organic spaghetti sauce tonight from Aldi. They actually have some really nice organic items there. This is their marinara. It actually tastes pretty good. So we'll be using that. Okay, while this is browning, not browning, but softening. It's okay if it's a little brown, but you don't want charred vegetables. But while this is browning, I am going to generously salt my water for my pasta, okay? I don't measure this. You kind of just want to put a good amount in there, okay? Perfect. Does it make your pasta salty? No, but it helps it from tasting very bland, okay? So I do that. I'm not going to turn my heat on just yet because I'm actually out of straight spaghetti, which my husband prefers. He has a thing with shapes, so I'm not going to boil it yet because he has to grab some on the way home from work. But we will get our sauce going, and it can just slowly simmer away until the pasta comes, okay? So this is looking good here. Get it nice and brown, softened. Smells really good. Take a peek. I like celery in my spaghetti sauce. I don't think everybody does that, but I did it one day and I just noticed it always gives it just a really nice flavor. So I've used it ever since. About half a stalk finely chopped. I probably use a quarter of a large green bell pepper. I also used a quarter of a fresh onion and 3 nice sized cloves of garlic. Garlic is very good for you. Okay, so that's coming up done. And what we'll add for our meat is, again, like I said, organic when you can, right? This is Stop and Shop brand. Some stores that are the same as our Stop and Shop here where we live in Connecticut, it's called Giant. It's the same chain. I think they have good quality food. So this is their organic line, Nature's Promise. And it is 90% grass-fed lean ground beef. It always has a really nice color. It's packaged very well, so it's like super airtight. And this is the meat I like to use. Okay, so for that, 1 pound. And I'm going to chop that. If you don't have one of these, get one. This is actually very old. You can't tell from Pampered Chef, but they're like a mix and chop, they're called. Chop your meat, it kind of mixes it at the same time, so use that. Okay, so I'm going to chop it up a little before I season my meat, just so I can really incorporate it in there nicely. Okay, and it's okay at this stage if it looks really chunky, because I am going to mix and chop it a little more after as well. Okay, this is just so that I know that the seasonings are getting on my meat where Okay, what are we going to season with? Little sea salt, not too heavy. Okay, paprika, not smoked paprika because that's a totally different flavor than regular paprika. It's very strong and smoky. Unless you like your sauce with a smoky flavor, use regular paprika. Black pepper, salt-free like a Mrs. Dash, or this is the Aldi version. Okay. Be generous with your seasonings. Although I did chop a quarter of an onion, I do like a little minced dry onion as well in here. It would help if I opened it. But I'd already opened this one. Okay. Alrighty. So some minced onion. Okay, of course you need your Italian seasoning. If you don't have the mixture of Italian seasoning, you can use dried parsley, dried oregano. That is totally fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and now an extra healthy ingredient I'm going to use, trust me, you won't taste it as long as you go light, organic ground turmeric. It's going to give it a nice deeper reddish orange color once you add your sauce. Doesn't have much of a smell, but if you use too much, you will taste it. This is really good for inflammation anywhere within the body. I know a lot of people have heard of turmeric tea or turmeric milk, fresh ground turmeric, organic. Okay, that's it. All right, and we're going to use our mix and chop now. I like my ground meat on the smaller side. I don't like it super thick, right? But you do your meat how you like yours. But I like mine more like a bolognese consistency sauce. Okay. Now this would be perfect time if you want to add some sweet Italian sausage, spicy sausage. That would be good as well. Ground. I prefer ground. Otherwise, you can use your link sausage. If I was going to put sausage in here with my ground beef, I would probably have started browning my sausage links on all sides first, okay? Just so that it's cooked good and real through and through, and it's not going to take as long once we simmer. Okay, but I don't have any sausage, so it's just ground beef tonight. Okay, so this is incorporating nicely. It smells really good in here. And give that a few minutes to do its thing. Okay, that's what it looks like. It smells really good. Another thing with the 90% organic ground beef, it's not a lot of fat. So I don't drain mine when I'm using a 90% organic, especially that brand ground beef, because I've noticed a little bit of fat it does render, actually helps with sauteing the vegetables. Because I don't use a whole lot of oil in the beginning, maybe a tablespoon. So because it's pretty lean, I find I don't need to drain it. Now, if you like yours even leaner than 90%, sure. Once your meat is fully cooked with your veggies, you can stick it in a colander and you can strain it in a fine colander and then just add it right back to your pan. And it will be a little less fatty for you. But again, I don't find it very fatty. Alright, so that's what we're cooking here. A little background about me. I'm 44. I think I said that already in the beginning. I live in Connecticut. I'm married. I have 2 children. One is grown out the house, and I have a 15-year-old son still living here. And a kitten meowing that you could probably hear in the background that thinks he needs to eat 19 times a day. It's not his dinner time yet, so I'm ignoring him. I also have a dog, a doodle dog. Who doesn't have a doodle nowadays? Although we did get our doodle before they became popular, so he's an old guy, 8 years old. And we have one other adult cat. So 2 cats, 1 dog. Okay, so this is looking pretty good here. Oops, an onion fell out. Well, there we go. I don't like to waste nothing. Okay, it's smelling really good. Leave your comments, let me know where you're from, and if, like me, you found similar, that there's just a lot of outdated information out there. I thought, oh wow, there's got to be a channel out there called Cooking with Cancer where I can just see someone kind of like me that I can relate to, or what are you eating, or what kind of health changes did you make in your diet after receiving your diagnosis. And I found there's either extremely old content out there, or it's just not related to what I'm searching for. So, like I said, I'll just give this a try. While this is browning, I'll share with you, I ended up having 4 chemotherapy sessions. I was on a regimen called TCH chemo, which is for an early stage breast cancer. I did do 4 rounds. My last round I completed October 7th. It is now, as of today, December 2nd, 2025. I'm happy to report I do have all my regular energy back, which is great. My hair on my head is growing in, a little bit on my armpits already. But what's weird is my eyelashes and eyebrows have fallen out in the last few weeks, so go figure. But I feel good, and like I said, I'll have a single mastectomy with tissue expander placement on Tuesday, December 16th. So that's coming up. So I'm a little nervous for it, naturally, I think. But I have a great team of doctors, surgeons. We have a great healthcare system in Connecticut. I'm not just saying that because I live here, we really do. So I know I'm in good hands, but naturally just a little nervous. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. Feel good. I did put on some weight with my chemo. I'm not sure what those have heard out in internet land, but I was under the impression, oh, you lose all kinds of weight with chemo, you're never going to eat, it makes you so sick. I suppose certain chemo drugs can do those things because everyone's chemo regimen is tailored specific to them and their cancer. However, I was on docetaxel and cyclophosphamide. Extreme tiredness was my biggest side effect that was bothersome. No nausea at all, no vomiting, lost my sense of taste, tiredness, and some joint pain here and there. And then, of course, all my hair fell out with the first treatment pretty quickly, I think 2 weeks in. So, I still was eating like normal, but what I did find is because they put you on steroids the day prior and for a few days after each chemo cycle, that caused me to put on some weight. You also will have some bloating or swelling. That weight I've since dropped. Once I started feeling better, that kind of just came off on its own. It was about 7 pounds or so. So when I told my oncologist, I said, oh, you know, I'm concerned because I feel like, you know, I could see that I'm gaining weight. I feel it in my clothes. I thought you're supposed to lose weight on chemo. I was told no. Most people actually gain weight because of the medication and because of the steroids. So don't be hard on yourself if you've gained weight on chemo. According to what I was told, it's perfectly normal and healthy. Okay? Alright, so this is looking pretty good. Looks good. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to crank the heat for just maybe a minute or so, medium heat. On my stove, because it's gas, it gets hot pretty quickly. And why I'm doing this is it just kind of cooks out any of that excess oil that I didn't feel like straining. Okay? Alright. Back down to low. And what I think I want to do is just go through with my mix and chop one more time because I like my meat a little finer than this. There we go. Looks good. Throw back in there and meat gets stuck because we don't waste nothing in this house, right? I know everyone can agree with the cost of groceries. We ain't wasting nothing. Okay. And now I'm going to add my 1 jar of my organic sauce. Try to look for something that's low in sugar too. Spaghetti sauce, it can be hard unless it specifically says sugar-free. This one, for example, 6 grams total sugar, but 2 grams dietary fiber. So that equals 4 grams of sugar. Not bad. If you can find one under 6, perfect. I also will not be adding table sugar or anything like that to my sauce. Okay, I'm not a fan of sweet sauce. And also, too much sugar in the body actually causes inflammation, and we don't want to do that because we just added the turmeric to offset inflammation in the body. Okay. All right. Here we go with our sauce. And we're in Connecticut. It is not even late, really. It's 5:23. And thanks to daylight savings, it feels like it's like 10 o'clock at night. All right, so I logged off from working and logged up about 4:45, and it's like pitch black already. So it's that time of year that, I don't know about you, but I don't like it. It just kind of drains the energy from you. I'm more of a sunshine gal, that's for sure. Okay. And get you a spatula that'll fit in your jar. I don't like to, I know some people put a little sauce in the jar. I don't do that unless I feel like the sauce is really thick, because I feel like it waters down your sauce, and I don't want watery sauce. Because those veggies we sauteed in the beginning are going to naturally give off a little water anyway. Okay. All right. This looks good. Gonna incorporate this. Sorry, buddy. I know. Cooking, I can't pick you up. And my cats are not allowed nowhere on my counters anyway, so. Okay. Alright, looks good. And nice color there, nice consistency. Gonna put my lid on. And I'm actually going to now move this to my simmer burner. Okay. I love cooking with gas. I don't know about anyone else, but I do. I feel like you have so much more control with it. Okay, well that's all for our spaghetti for right now. I will show it plated afterwards once my husband gets back with the spaghetti for me to boil. I pre-made a salad last night that we just didn't feel like eating with our dinner last night, so I have a nice fresh salad and some fresh rolls from the bakery. All right, take care. God bless.